Hey everybody, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch. And what a game. I wanted that to be game 7 with the overtime. 117, 113 win for the Cavaliers, and Harden was great. Harden was great. He was the hero of the game. And Mitchell, you know what it was? It was 2-on-1 because I told you yesterday, game fives bogged down like this one did. And now with your stars got to make tough shots and tough plays. The Cavaliers were able to double Cunningham because this time Tobias Harris ran cold. No Duncan Robinson from the outside with his back. And Reed played good, but they didn't have that trustworthy second guy when Cade, because Cade was going off. Cade had 39 points, but they really came with hard double teams toward the end. They said, "You're not beating us. Pass the ball. Let somebody else beat us." Widely, they left everyone wide open. They missed wide open shots. There were a couple calls that didn't go the Pistons' way, but Tobias Harris might have had his sixth foul on the reviewed play. They called it not a foul, but Harden was great. Jared Allen was strong. Mobley, it was Allen and Mobley better than the interior players of the Pistons. Reed came in late with 10 and 8, but Allen, 16, 10, Mobley, 19, 8 rebounds, 10 rebounds, Allen. They were on the boards. They played really good defense. And when they were down, I believe, 9 points, they were down 8. They cut it. Max Strus, who played terrific, they cut to 6 with 3:38. And then Tobias Harris finally made a 3 because Detroit, it was a tie game with 7 minutes left. Detroit goes on this run defensively. They had the crowd energized. They're making steals. They're getting dunks. They're hitting 3-point shots. They go up 9. They go up 9 with 3 minutes left. Mitchell hits a floater. And then Mobley gets a dunk off a steal. And then Mobley hits a 3-pointer. Now you're within range with 122 left. Now the game is gettable. And then they get another stop, and Mobley hits 2 clutch free throws to give them the lead, to tie the game. And then they turn the ball over, shot clock violation, Detroit. They were a mess. That's when not having Duncan Robinson took over the game. Whereas Tobias running cold was costly. And Durham's not giving them anything. Now we're going to overtime. It favors the 2-on-1. I'm saying that from the fact that you got Donovan Mitchell and Harden you could go to. Detroit, you got Cunningham. Double Cunningham. We dare the others. The others are cold. We got this. Harden makes a shot. Mitchell hits a big 3. They get a steal. Strus, the hero of the game. Max Strus, 20 points, plus 9, 8 rebounds, a steal, a block. He was everywhere, getting every single 3-point shot attempt offensive rebound. He was always 3-point shot attempts you could box out, but a lot of times it's just 50-50 effort. And Detroit was showing effort on the comeback, but in the overtime, it was Strus, and Strus was doing it the whole game. And they had a tough road game in Detroit. They showed a lot of toughness. They win 117, 113. Now, what is this? Now, Detroit, they got to hope Duncan Robinson come back. Can't fall behind like he did in Orlando, game 6. What Detroit has to do is what Cleveland did today. Hang around, take the fourth quarter. Because you have the defense to do it, but you can't get down big, not in Cleveland, because Mitchell and Harden get them home. And Harden has had trouble in game 6s and 7. I think he has another big game 6. And I'm not saying he erases his reputation, but if they win and they're headed to the Garden with some momentum, because now the next guy figure out how you're gonna stop Mitchell and Harden. With Detroit, it's defense. With Cleveland, it's that two-headed monster with Strus catching it and Merritt hitting some shots and Mobley and Allen playing big. And now Detroit, I thought had advantage inside, but Durham's been bad. I didn't know Durham's only 22 years old. This is a learning process. I think Durham could take this and learn from it because he hasn't had a good postseason. Game 6 favors Cleveland. I'm hoping Detroit wins. Go back, game 7. Go get me another overtime, or at least go to overtime at game 6. I love this series. I love this drama. I love how physical it is and letting them play. And they're not calling every little ticky tack. This is the kind of NBA I like. I grew up on. No mid range, I hate. Not great post ups, but what they do, since they don't have that in their bag, they kind of have to rely on a drive and kick, drive to the basket for layups, or drive and kick for threes, and good defense. So I can't have everything, but I got what I wanted as far as a great game. It went to overtime, and the stars were stars. And I give kudos to Donovan Mitchell because he did like a Kobe in game 7 when Kobe wasn't great till the fourth quarter when they need him, and he delivered offensively and defensively. And I believe Donovan Mitchell, 21 points. He was 1 of 8, but that one was big in overtime, that 1-3. Made all those free throws. Now, Harden made some big free throws. They got away with it because Detroit was ice cold. Let me see what Detroit was from 3. Detroit was 11 for 33 from 3. Not good. Not good. But going forward, Detroit has defense. They play great defense. Cleveland's playing great defense. They got to figure out how to get, even though Cunningham 39, how do you get him free enough? Because if he just gets free, he's making those shots in crunch time. But they're coming with a hard double, and Detroit's sending guys to the basket. They're sending guys, they're flashing guys at the free throw line. They're catching, and they're not going all the way to the basket, catching and driving out to an open three-point shooter who's missing. Now, Tobias has got to have a bounce-back game, but they're going home. And that's the bottom line.